welcome back. We have time for just a quick mindfulness moment, and then we're going to talk a little bit about the rest of the week this week. So usually we do mindfulness on Thursday, but we haven't had time. We haven't had time. I wanted for, this is a very, and honestly, last Thursday we didn't have time for the mindfulness moment because we did a show that was largely about mindfulness because we got Anita Lesko, and if you haven't read her book yet, make sure you read her book, Becoming an Autism Success Story, because it's all about mindfulness and meditation and creative visualization. But so I wanted to take a moment because it's spring. And in the spring, it's a particularly great time to go outside. Nature is an opportunity to be mindful. There is an equation, and I don't know what the name of it is, and maybe some of you do, but there's an equation in nature that each living thing, a leaf, can be taken down to this equation. A shell can be taken, there's a symmetry to every living thing, and there's a name for it, but I just can't think what it is. So I don't know what that's about. I mean, I have opinions about it, but I think a lot of people have a lot of opinions about it. But I do know that there have been studies that have shown that when people take an opportunity to study something that's from nature, and study it closely visually, that it has a meditative property to it. That just taking the moment to notice the symmetry in something can help you to be mindful, and it can lower your stress. So you have this opportunity because, and you know, I'm saying it's spring in this hemisphere. But nature is going on all the time. In fact, nature is going on in us as well. But if you have the opportunity here in the United States to go outside and to pluck a blade of grass and to sit down and look at it, like when was the last time you looked at a blade of grass? Probably, you know, when you were in an art class, right? Because when else do you really study and look at a blade of grass or look at a flower? Go pick a dandelion and look at a dandelion and see the beauty that it is in it, and notice where it is symmetrical and where it isn't symmetrical. Pick a leaf or just look at a leaf on a plant. You don't even have to pick it off, right? If you really don't have access to something, or you're allergic to everything and you can't go outside, I was doing this to my hand because you can also do it with your hand. You can take a minute and just look at your hand as if, with the eye, as if you were going to draw it or memorize it or take a picture of it, right? And notice the things about your hand that you don't notice on a regular basis. Like, how many colors can you count in your hand? You know, people tend to think, oh, well, my hand is, you know, fill in the blank color, right? And yet all of our hands have a rainbow in them, that there are gradations of color in all of us, right? So take and notice where the lines are and where there aren't lines and where it's puffier and where it's smoother, and you can touch it to see what the texture is. But taking the time to study something that is living closely, even for 3 minutes, can lower your stress and lower your blood pressure. Now, I literally do this when I go to the doctor's office, because I go into the doctor's office and the first thing that they do is they put the cuff on my arm and they take my blood pressure. And I'm at an age and a weight where it's significant, right? And we're going to talk about it, whatever it is, right? But they take the blood pressure, and I'm always in a hurry, and I've got 32 bags, and I'm late because of the traffic, and I didn't plan well, and whatever, and I plop down in the chair, and they put the cuff on, and I've got high blood pressure, right? And they go, all right, we're going to let you sit for a minute because we know you ran in from the parking lot. And they do this with everybody. I watch this, do this with everybody. We're going to take it again to be sure, because a lot of times people are a little bit edgy when they come into the doctor's office. And I've seen other people sit there and they're like, oh no, my blood pressure's high. Oh, because none of us want that. None of us want to be on the blood pressure medicines, right? But I will sit there, and for the 2 minutes that they give me, I will study my hand. And I will just sit there and look at my hand and breathe. And then they come back and they take the blood pressure, and my blood pressure is fine. So this is my advice for you. Just go and study some nature. Let's all get our blood pressure down without taking the medicine. Okay, now this week, it's a big, big week, right? There's lots of excitement. So tomorrow we're showing a best of some of the best interviews that we've ever done here on the show. So you'll definitely want to watch that. On Wednesday, we have Evelyn Kung with us. She's going to be answering your questions during Ask Evelyn Kung. And I know a bunch of you have been writing in questions. We've got you. So tune in on Wednesday to hear the answers to that. Then on Thursday, you're not going to believe this. The first time in the show that we've done this. So we have Julie Dipp is going to be with us. She's from OC Autism, and they've got a big event that's coming up. And we're told, I don't know, I'm not promising you anything, but we're told that she's bringing William Hung with her. Do you know who William Hung is? William Hung is the guy who did American Idol and sang the song She Bangs, She Bangs. And it was so not good that he became a star. So he's doing her event, this comedy event that she's got coming up. And so he's going to be here on Thursday. So that should be hilarious. I'm looking forward to that. And then on Friday, for Let's Talk Autism with Shannon and Nancy and I will welcome back to the show Carrie Bowers. She is an amazing filmmaker and a mom and an artist. She's very heavily involved with the art of autism and with the film Normal People Scare Me and Normal People Scare Me Too. And she's been making a new film. I've been seeing there's all these things going on in New York City that we want to know all about. So that will be next Friday. So it's a big, big week. This Friday. What am I saying? Not next Friday. This Friday. So tune in. Until tomorrow, give your kiddos a hug from me and one for you too. Bye-bye for now.